Hello, hello. I think we're live. We're going to be. I guess we're going to wait a little bit for people to get into the stream. And so I'm just going to share on Discord. Most likely the notification will show up on Discord anyway. Okay, so we have a few games lined up. A lot of people sent in games, a lot more than I was expecting. I think I got like over 50 submissions, which is crazy. Unfortunately, I can't play 40 games today. I'm only going to be streaming for about an hour, possibly even less because I've got a lot of work to do around the apartment. But yeah, so far so good. We have a very interesting lineup. Um, I think you guys would be familiar with Elon Plug, which is a great game by Aria from our Discord server. Um, so let's see here. I do want to just wait a little bit more until more people join in. So how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Probably. Well, I guess before we start, I can give you guys an update. You might know that I've been working on a uh, text RPG game based on using ChatGPT as the NPCs, and that's been going well. I just made a new build. It's on my Patreon, so if you guys want to support the channel and subscribe to my Patreon, that would be much appreciated because you also get game dev resources and you get the build for the text game, which is very, very. I've been told it's very fun. I've enjoyed playing around with it. It's just kind of a work in progress sort of thing. Unknown user 14, very enigmatic name. Welcome. Feel free to ask any question that you want. Josh, welcome. Great to have you. Stormy, welcome. Thanks, guys, for coming. Okay, wow, 7 people already. That's actually a lot more than we usually get this early. Thank you so much for the like, by the way, whoever that was. Tekna, welcome. Welcome. Great to see you guys here. Awesome. Cool. So, well, with that, I guess we can get started. I'm going to be. And sorry, guys, I have a bit of a stuffy nose. I pretty much have a stuffy nose like all the time. So if I'm doing like this and stuff, then I apologize. I don't know if it's annoying, but homemade craze. Well, that's a great name. Um, awesome. Thank you. Glad. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a game called Frankie's Picnic, which was requested by. I'm sorry, I forget your name. I don't know if you're in the chat, but you were asking me to play the game, and hopefully this will work on this monitor. This one, I have the chat on this one. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna try to like. I'll be alt tabbing and trying to swap OBS. Okay, great. Yeah, because this will be faster than. Okay, that should work, and then I'll put that over here. So I don't see the chat right now. I'll play through the game, and then I'll look back at the chat in a second, guys. Okay, so cool. We have, and you guys won't be able to hear it. Let me know, and it'll be after this game. If you guys want the audio from the game, I'm kind of cautious about playing my desktop audio while I'm streaming because I don't want it to like loop into the microphone and be annoying. Um, and it can be kind of finicky with that. I guess I could just wear headphones, but anyways, for now, this is what we're doing. Why is the resolution only... Okay, it can go higher. I don't know. I think the default could be higher, right? Like, I think most people are gonna have a 1920 by 1080 monitor at this point. Um, let's do this. Let's give this a shot. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Of course you're that. Okay, Yeah, I'm not wearing headphones, so you're gonna hear it come through. Anyways, um, that audio stuff didn't make any sense. I had one thing in my head and I said something completely different. You've been trapped in an abandoned facility and you have no memory how or what happened. An abandoned facility, what kind of facility? However, you are not alone in this facility. You must avoid the incoming gang until 6 a.m. Okay, so very much Five Nights at Freddy's vibes. I think that's what you're kind of going for. Look left, look right, flashlight, hide, unhide. What do you mean hide, unhide? Oh, it's crouch. It's sneaking. Okay. Oh my gosh, am I? And yeah, so you guys might hear the desktop audio through the mic, but you won't hear it like through the mic and through the desktop. So I'm guessing I can, yeah, okay, so I can do the FNAF thing. Now, I don't think I've ever played FNAF, so I have no idea if I'm just gonna, like, I'm not very, like, I made a horror game, but I don't know anything about horror games. I barely play horror games. So I'm probably gonna, like, freak out or something. Or wait, was that a guy? Is this a guy? Is this guy gonna kill me? Yeah, okay, I guess, okay, cool. So I guess they're not all that, okay, what's that sound? Oh, cool, it turns off your flashlight. I guess that, oh, did I lose power on my flashlight? Is that what happened? So, I don't, can you, okay, never mind. If that were the case, you should have, like, even though it should be scary, you should have, like, a UI for it. Now, okay, this guy's here, so I'll shut the door there, I guess. So the thing with FNAF, what's going on here? Did I die or did I make it? The thing with FNAF, what I do know about FNAF and what builds the tension in FNAF is that you're not um how do I put this? You're looking at the cameras, right? One second, guys. I just want to make sure you guys can all see this. Okay, just there's no issues with the stream so far, which is good. So you're gonna see my like streaming UI and stuff just because I can't be bothered to figure out how to coordinate all this. But yeah, you're looking at cameras, so that's what builds your tension with this. I don't know if you can look at cameras, but I only have my one view, and I'm not sure exactly what the stakes are gonna be in that case, right? I don't know what's coming to chase me, but either way, like it's great. It looks good. It looks like FNAF. So if you're going for kind of giving it a shout out there, so yeah, well done. Very nice. What can we take away? What can we learn from this? I'm gonna. Can I? Okay. Okay. This is just credits now. Cool. 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 There you go. If you guys play the game, you can check out the YouTube channel. What can we take away from this? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna quickly catch up to you guys in the chat here. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna talk about in a second what we can kind of take away from that game and what we can learn from it. Can't play current game. I'm working on. Oh, I can't play the game you're working on. Gotcha. No problem. No problem. Wait, Josh, you're making a multiplayer game? That's pretty intense. I heard networking is pretty hard, unless you mean like local co-op, but but yeah, that's pretty cool. Unknown user, I don't know what your game is. You're gonna have to um, you're gonna have to tell me what your game is. I'm not sure though, because I already downloaded the games I'm gonna be playing today. I couldn't play all of them because it's crazy. Like there was like over 50 submissions, which I was very surprised by. I did not think that many people would wanna submit their game. Um, Okay, Kreisberger Games, you're planning to go to 3D from Unity 2D. Should you use Unity or UE5? I mean, why not just use what you know? Unity's completely fine. It doesn't matter what engine you use. People get I don't know why, but people are very concerned over what game engine they use. There's no reason really to be so worked up about it. Like, whatever you start with, if you start with Unity, if you start with Unreal, you're gonna get better in that engine, and then the skills transfer. Sorry, the skills transfer over too, right? So it's not gonna be 1-to-1 if you decide to switch later, but you'll have a much better basis anyway. So it's really not a big deal. But I suggest just sticking with what you know. Matt, welcome, welcome, excellent. Homemade craze while currently making music for my game while watching this. Very cool. Do I play mobile games? Only PC. I just that's what my setup is. I guess I don't have like an emulator or anything. Uh, Tekna, oh man, I might have seen your email. I had a bunch of emails, and I usually get back to them all, but like with the 50 submissions, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to be a bit selective here. Um, okay, all right. Unknown user Subway Surfer Broke Edition. So I'll be sure to put it. If I do this again, like in the next stream, then I'll have your game lined up and I'll download it for sure. But yeah, even if I don't get to playing your game in this one, guys, like I hope that it'll be instructive and that you can like learn something from it. Would I be open to checking out mobile in the future? I'm not sure. It's not really something that I know about. Like I don't really know the mobile market, so I don't know how much help I can be. Like I don't play any mobile games. But I mean, if people are interested enough in it, I suppose I could give it a try. But all right, guys, we're gonna play Elon Plug because um, it's very hype. I saw Arya was asking me about it quite a while ago, so I'm glad I finally get the chance to try it. Okay, we gotta do the switching my screen thing again, so we're gonna switch to this. There we go. Awesome. So I'm gonna turn down my own speakers, just because I don't want things to be weird. Okay, and yeah, so I don't have a mouse. Some people are gonna like, even with Air Obscure, um, just not having a mouse, like people had no idea what to do. um, for some reason, it's not intuitive for some people that you can just wait. Can you? There we go. Yes. For some reason, it's not intuitive to some people that you can't that you can just use your arrow keys to control the menu. And this is important though, guys, because the more games you make, the more you start to realize like, what do you mean? That's obvious. How could someone not have thought of like how could somebody have gotten confused by that? Players get very confused by things that you wouldn't expect. It's like being a writer. I remember growing up when people would say like, "Hey, if you're writing a story or something, you have to be very explicit about some things because you're the author and you know what you want to do, but most people won't know what's in your head." And so the same thing kind of applies to games. Uh, it's an art, right? Like it's dumb because I'm talking about a menu, but there's even in something like a menu, and I mean like people's jobs are just designing UI and making the UX good and stuff. So all right, let's see how this plays. J to progress dialogue. All right. What do we got here? So this plug guy, I guess it's Elon. He's flying, but his mom is the pilot, I guess. Plug City is the city of dreams. Okay. They're not going to have it be 5 minutes away. I remember, no more whining when we arrive. You can't embarrass our family in front of Lord Elon. Okay, so we're not playing as Elon. Make sure you're constantly elongating. Then your father and I will love you. What if oh my gosh. Okay, no one. Okay, I saw your comments on Steam, your reviews. People love it, man. This is great. Um, okay, so I can move around like this. What can I do? What happens if I just jump off the building right now? Oh, sweet. Okay. Can I? Okay, cool. Neat. And can I sever this? It looks like I can't. Okay. Interesting. But I also like okay because it only has a certain length to it. So now how do I advance my length? What a concept. J. Oh, okay. You just retether yourself. All right. All right. So I feel like that is my goal, and I can't reach it yet. That makes sense. I need to increase. But why would I have to go this way? Or is this like side content? Um, I guess that's just what do you call it? A little collectible there. Very cool. Okay, so that's not the goal. Is oh what? Why did I just go flying like that? Is there swinging? Let's see. Oh, by the way, I don't think J should be your default. I think you should just make it like mouse click or E or something. Something that's closer to like where your left hand is on the keyboard if you're doing WASD. Um, or mouse click. And I don't know, maybe there's going to be some advantages to using mouse click. Now, what's up with this guy? Can I talk to him? Because then maybe you can like aim your, I don't know, your tether, your plug. Hey, what are you doing exercising, bro? You don't become as long as me without putting in the effort. Okay, so how, am I going to learn how to increase my length now? I guess not. Or maybe I did. Maybe I missed the dialogue there because I tried to skim through it too fast. Oh, he has different dialogue now. Okay. Yeah, don't because then you get idiots like me who are gonna just skip your dialogue, and then people are just gonna not know what to do. So don't make your dialogue just permanently gone. Oh, I'm back to the start. Could I have gone this way? Nope. Okay, I could have it. Okay, so I gotta keep my right hand on the J key. Which is fine. It's just not super typical. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like there's a message. Oh, cool. Wow, this is a big city. I still don't know how to like change my length and stuff. Okay, so okay, I just got thrown. Is that because of this guy? Oh, I'm panicking. Okay, cool. My psychological concern has gotten the better of me, so I can't go over there. Okay, so yeah, now that I'm like playing with my other hand on the J key, it's definitely it feels a lot more smooth, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've never played a game like this. Okay, so does that okay? It does like do the power up things not like increase your length? What about this guy? You're Jason Long. All right, am I gonna learn anything new here? He's trying to be like Lord Elon. 60. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, well, let's see. I mean, I guess when it comes to it's interesting because you do conveyance. Okay, this is how you get elongated. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to collect the coins and then I can well, well, okay, but then I can't go there, so where do I go? Do I go this way? But I can't go there either, so am I like what am I supposed to do then? And it might just be I might just be confused because I'm not used to playing these kinds of games, and it's not a big deal because I'm actually, I'm already kind of exploring. It's making me want to be like, okay, well, I tried going this way, this way, this way, so I'll just go the other way now, so that's pretty much good, I would say, in terms of exploration. And you also have an incentive to explore. You want to collect your coins. Okay, now you have items. Interesting. Is it just cosmetics? I don't know if Arya's in the chat. I'll check the chat in a second. Okay, I can't go there either. What? Like, why can't I? Is it just literally because I'm, wait, now I can't get back up. Nah, that's no good. If I can't pick... Okay, I can jump, apparently. Okay, that's weird. Why can I jump if I'm touching the wall? Oh, I'm climbing. Okay, nice. Cool, good. Shoot, what was I saying? Yeah, okay, so I'm confused as to why, like, the mental panic stuff shows up. Because you're already creating a barrier by the character's length, right? Like, funny enough, Spore did this. The space stage of Spore. You're, you can go to any star system, but you have to unlock a higher engine that can let you go to farther away stars. And so the way that the game, what's the word for it? Is gatekeeping the right word for it? Like gate keeps you from progressing too far too quickly, is things are just farther away. So similarly in this, you literally have like the length built in, right? So if you don't want me going somewhere, just make the length that. But I guess you also want that like thematic element of the mental panic, which I don't know. Okay, but yeah, so I'm at the point where I don't know. Maybe it's just a matter of collecting all the coins that I haven't collected yet. But okay, that's pretty much good, I think, for this game for now. We got a pretty good feel of it. So let's switch back to this and go back to the chat. All right. Where was I? So I missed some of your questions in the chat here, guys. Josh, you had a hard time trying to get multiplayer to work in Unity. Gotcha. So it's better in Unreal. Eh? I was someone suggested to me, a coworker suggested to me who also makes games, that maybe I could consider adding multiplayer to my next game, but I don't know. It's I'm sure even in Unreal it can be pretty hard. There's a lot of design decisions to consider. But anyways, okay, I can see Arya that you're in the chat. Did you miss did you see me like playing, like did you get any of the comments I made, Arya, about the game? And yeah, it's my pleasure. It's a great idea. Uh, have X be your tether key if it's related to Elon Musk. That's a good point. That would work. With are we supposed to call it X now? Because like the URL is still Twitter. I mean, it's like you still tweet. Like it's still like I don't know. I don't really get it. I'm not like some people are like, oh, Elon is such a whatever for changing the name. I don't care. Is there any time pressure to explore? Yeah, that's a good question for Arya. Is there any time pressure to the exploring the tether plug game, or is it explore as you wish, casually, without any time stress to accomplish a task? And like in my opinion, you don't necessarily need that, especially like it feels like you're going for larger scale exploration, and so there's no need for time pressure if you just want to. Yeah, I think I think in this case that works. But yeah, cool. I'm not sure what else to add. I mean, it's good. You did great on Steam. I want to show you guys the Steam page because these guys crushed it. Who did your capsule art, by the way? It's pretty good. And I think there were some comments that people couldn't recognize the face as Elon. But I mean, like, it worked. Like 280 reviews that's insane, and like it's very positive, which means 98% of the 280 user review. So that's the highest tier of review that you can get, um, without you can only get overwhelmingly positive if you have like I think it's over 500. So this is insane. This is really good. And look at the short description here, guys. Play as an elastic. And in case you might be thinking like, well, I don't care about the Steam page because I'm never gonna put a game on Steam. Just you gotta aim for Steam. Like even if you're a new developer making like small little 2D itch.io games with like no sound effects in it and stuff, like eventually Steam is gonna be your end goal if you wanna make even if you don't want to be a game developer as like a career, if you want to make better games and motivate yourself to make better games, then just aim for Steam, right? Not in your first few, but maybe in your like third or fourth or fifth game, you can think about that. And this is very instructional here because you have this that little tagline here: play as an elastic plug trying to become as long as Lord Elon. Use your climbing, dangling, and stretching skills to collect coins and buy length upgrades. So, a short description, all it should be is exactly this: the actions. Use your climbing, dangling, stretching, collect coins, buy length upgrades. Using like verbs, right? Um, you know, very funny, like very good puns and stuff. Very nice to have GIFs in the long description because nobody reads this. But I think now that the zeitgeist of Steam is moving more in the direction of like we're gonna have silly GIFs in the long description, people are gonna be looking for those. The screenshots, okay, actually, yeah, some of these screenshots are very good too. We're not gonna watch the trailer now because you guys can watch that. Um, okay, cool, awesome. Thanks for sharing the artist there. But yeah, okay, cool. Next game, next game. Um, and actually, real quick, I'm gonna mention the Q&A that we got from the emails. I don't know if the guys who asked this are in the chat, but okay, so funny enough, one person asked me if I can send them assets. Like, you have, like, you're emailing me, you have the internet, you can just, I don't want to be too harsh, but, you can it's easy to look up like well maybe well okay so the serious answer, um, there's a lot of places you can get free assets from, Unity Asset Store, or Open Game Art or TurboSquid. And another person asked me to send them tutorials, which is like, first of all, I'm literally the guy who made the tutorial with the X on Bracky's face, right? So don't ask me for tutorials. um, Buwan, I think that's how you pronounce the name, asked me a very interesting question because he basically said, how do you get motivated, especially because he's in a situation where his PC sucks, which I totally get it. The longest time I was making games on a crappy laptop and I was like, I don't know, I wanted to make some, like, I felt like I couldn't really make anything all too good, and I tried to anyway. I tried to make very big games on my my little Dell laptop. Um, and my recommendation to that is like, and I know there's a few people that are limited in their game development hardware, but something that might just mean like, okay, well, you can learn a more challenging type of uh, like game development, right? Like a lot of people, I mean, like think about the games that were made on very old systems. I mean, how could people make games in the 90s if their computers were by far worse than any of our computers, right? So um, you can learn a more advanced technology, maybe learn OpenGL, or maybe even just like make a 2D game, right? It doesn't have to be Unity. I think Godot runs better than Unity, and there's other game engines that don't need a bigger system. Josh, what are my thoughts on a game jam? Well, I mean, you were in my game jam, so I think you would. I hope you know that I love game jams. I think game jams are great. Um, participating in a game jam is kind of what kickstarted me into actually getting a much better picture of where my game development journey was going to take me, because I had never finished a game at that point. I had a bad perception of what a small game is. I was like, okay, I'm going to go from making my big open world RPG, forget that's too big, to a massive 2D platformer with like a ton of levels, and that was terrible. That was a nightmare. I mean, it was fun to do, but it was just a basic prototype and nothing more. Um, so I love game jams. Like, it forces you to be creative. It forces you to get something done, and then you understand what to aim for in the next one. It's great. Okay, guys. Let's move on to the next game here. We did Frankie's Picnic. Okay, the interview. Let's see. Where's the interview? Presumably not the movie, the interview. And hopefully this one shows up on the other monitor and not on the one that has the chat. Run anyway. It always, whenever okay, great, yeah, it's not, of course it's on this monitor. So I think this was made by Phil from the Discord. Sorry guys for the infinite mirror. Or maybe Phil made a different game. Okay, controls. WASD. Okay, straightforward enough. Okay, weird. So you have you show me escape is the menu, and then hitting escape doesn't leave the tutorial. I think I would expect it to work that way. Is there audio here? Okay, it's like lo-fi music. Cool. So it's a point and click, I guess, right? I can. Okay. It's very nice, by the way. Like this is a very nice cohesive art style. One little tiny gripe I would have is that, like, actually no, this is fine. I was gonna say the outlines on like the objects are inconsistent with the character. That might be okay. But like overall it's great. And what the heck? What is this guy doing? Is this guy some kind of, why does he have a pentagram on the what's going on? Okay, so I can go to bed, take phone. So with a point and click, I expect to. Oh, you guys can't see it because my, look, there's like literally a pentagram on the. I'll put myself on this side. So I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, so for a point and click, I don't know if you. Do you? I don't normally play these kinds of games, but normally for those of you who do you expect you have to walk right up to the thing in order to click on it, or should you be able to just click anywhere to like at least examine it, right? I'll just take the phone. Narrator, it's a job interview invitation from the largest and most successful company in the world. Wow, look at that. Crushing it. Probably has something to do with the pentagram, right? You could use a job. Oh, I have like a. Oh, is this the Okay, so it's the interview. Okay, so I have different guys here. You could use new people in life. New emotions are exactly what you need right now. It's interesting, right? I'm not sure what that, like, maybe new experiences. Why would it be like? Why would new emotion? I don't know. It's an interesting choice of words, I guess. And you can definitely use sweet moolah. Okay, so I guess I don't know. Are these like the demons that are tempting me? Strangely, you don't remember even applying for it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you get for consorting with demons, I guess. Big companies are always looking for new employees, especially talented and capable ones. They even have special people for that called headhunters. Wait, are we being hunted? Oh, okay, yes, I remember now. You said in the email that this is based on Disco Elysium. So I haven't played Disco Elysium, but I've heard very good things about it. I've watched a bunch of pretty long videos analyzing it, and it seems pretty impressive. So I guess this is kind of a similar idea of these are like the different facets of like your psyche. Maybe red is like the lizard brain, like fear and wanting immediate like rewards or whatever, one in cash in this case, and maybe green is like I forget what there's like the id and the super ego and the ego or whatever. I don't know much about that. I use like I have a Thomistic model of the psyche. I wouldn't call it a mistake. It's a happy accident. Hey, I am talented and capable. I don't trust such companies. They are too big to care for their employees. We're gonna go with the based answer. um, but yeah, okay. I guess this gives me. I think this gives me a pretty good idea and a pretty good sense of what the game is like just from this. Oh, now I have a bunch of arrows pointing to, like, no, don't do that. Don't give me arrows to point to, like, the, so, like, the player wants to feel like he's discovering things, even if it's small things like this, right? Like, because if there's arrows to it, then that tells me, okay, great, like, he's gonna only restrict me to certain choices, right? Um, this is where earlier I mentioned you want to have good conveyance because players don't intuit things, but at the same time, like a door in and of itself, in a point and click game where players are going to be used to things being kind of chaotic, just the fact of having a door is going to lead players to the conclusion that they can at least try to go through it. Yuck, I hate public transport. Oh man, same. That's why we go on a job interview to earn some money and buy a car. There you go. There's the voice of reason, I guess. That's gonna show these losers their place. Why is Red such a jerk? You finally arrive. You enter the building. In front of the entrance, you see a lady office manager standing next to a desk. Well, you feel as if there is not a single soul in the whole building but you and her. Wow, okay. Oh my gosh. My character changed. That's funny. Alright. Anyway, I can help you. So is she a receptionist or a manager? Don't embarrass yourself. This is okay, this is funny. Sure who the boss is. That's funny. Should I? Okay, let's just meme. That's funny. No, she should be like very like puzzled about that, not just like, sorry, do I know you? Like she's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna relax a little bit with this. And just be reasonable. What happens if I'm reasonable? I guess it makes sense because it's like the first you can progress the conversation and like different endings of the encounter or whatever, but yeah. Oh, okay, so I misread that. You spoke the other day near this very desk. Uh, I was thinking of, okay, like there was like the phone call. Wait, what could I have said there? Because it seemed like, oh yeah, okay, because I chose the stupid option. Um, okay. Anyways, I think we'll pretty much get back to the chat at this point. Wait, hold on. This is interesting. We were talking about liberals, all these money sucker bastards who betrayed our country. About your favorite coffee, you like it, don't you? Well, as I said, we're gonna always go with the based option, except for the meme option. Uh, New gang, yeah, yes, absolutely. That is exactly correct. um, anyways, okay, so very interesting. I don't like it. It definitely captures the like the Disco Elysium thing of like your emotions are leading you in different directions and stuff. And so the core of this is going to be the writing. And so if writing is your strength, this is the perfect game to make. Um, I guess I should comment that like the art in this screen is a very big deviation from the art in the previous screen. I think all of the art in all of the screens should be consistent. They should all look pretty much the same, right? They should have the same cohesive art style. Same thing with like the character should have a cohesive art style with the background. So I'm trying to think of what else to maybe critique or not critique. like I guess the thing to consider is like how do your option like well first of all is it gonna be clear to like I still don't know what green is what like green face is supposed to be. I don't know, it's kind of like a if it's supposed to be like the ego, then I guess it's like the mediator between like reason and. But then like if it's just a middle ground, that might be kind of boring because then people are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take the boring middle ground option instead of having to like have like a strong choice between two things that are gonna have like an obvious like drastic consequence. Like if you go with like the the red face, you're gonna lose your job and get her to call security on you potentially, and then if you go with the blue face, you're gonna probably get the job and like be more stoic and whatever, um, and so yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy instead of having the dichotomy of like the what's it called like Mass Effect, right? Like the Paragon and the Renegade. Here you have the lizard brain and the reason. So yeah, let's get back to the chat here. How do I close the game? There we go. That's how. And now we're gonna switch back to. I think that switches back to this. Yes, it does. Okay. What did my chat pick up on in that? Okay, you guys are getting into game engines. That's good. But yeah, anyways, okay, I think that just about. Okay, wait, Matt. Maybe the arrows are intentional to demonstrate that as you consort your demons and align yourself to their desires, that you. Oh yeah, I forgot about the demon thing because you have the pentagram in the corner, so it's like, yeah, how does that play? I mean, that definitely has like like that's an evil right there anyway. So then, I guess like because if you're going with just like the lizard brain versus the reason, then like you don't really need to have like the oh you have to choose between like the demons and the like immediate pleasure from following what they tell you to do, versus I don't know the reasonable potentially virtuous choice or something. So like if that's relevant to this, then you have to make that decision, I guess, for the story. Okay, next game. Where were we? So now we have Harmony. I think this is the actual. This is the one that Phil from the Discord submitted. And okay, oh my gosh, we're back to this. Oh wait, no, hold on. Aha, I can drag it. Perfect. Linguistic larceny. Does dragging the window break the... Where is it? There it is. Awesome. And I'm glad you're in the chat so you can actually get... so that you can get the feedback here and let me know if I'm... I think it strikes me as like a detective, like investigative sort of thing, so hopefully I don't do... hopefully I don't like butcher the investigation here. Okay, it's first person. Okay. Is this a ceiling or a skybox? It's a ceiling, okay. So interesting color scheme, and I'm kind of confused about the lighting because it's a very flat lighting, and I'm just confused about like, are the lights on or are they off, or what's going on here? But okay, but so far so good. I would like to know if these assets are made in-house or if you guys pulled them from something, because so a similar thing to what I mentioned in the last game, the art style has to be cohesive, it has to be consistent, right? So like here you have like a fairly low detailed texture but also bright colors, like a word on color usage, right? I'm no expert on this, I'm no artist, but bright saturated colors like this bright blue of the ceiling should be your focal points, right? Things to focus on, things that are going to grab your attention. desaturated colors, like this kind of slightly more grayish green. Even this brown, it's a little bit more saturated, but it's a little bit of like a, it's not like a bright orange. It's a gray brown. This is desaturated. This is very desaturated. And then like this table is a bit more saturated, but then like for some reason this paper is also green. Um, and then also the resolution of textures. I'm nitpicking because it's clearly something that has or wait, is this intentional or did something break maybe? Because I like, or is this intentional because this is like the fact that everything is blue has like a narrative meaning here. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's find out. Let's investigate. My dear wife, I'm so sorry for what I've done. I hope you can forgive me for my lack of judgment and sins. Please forgive me. Why in an apology note? I almost feel bad for him. Interesting. So am I the wife then? I guess I'm the wife. Wait, how do I get out of this now? Okay. I don't know how I got out of it. Okay, it's just pressing E. And that's fine. Players are gonna figure that out quickly. I don't think you necessarily. It wouldn't be a bad idea to say like press E to close, but I don't think it's necessary. He wouldn't notice a sib missing, right? Okay. Okay, so we already learned something. We know that there's a husband who did something evil or something to wrong his wife. Some sort of fancy drink bottle. And there's only one, and it's mostly been drunk from. And this is nice. I remember you were showing in the Discord how you got this to work. I don't know why it's lagging for me. Okay, there we go. The inspecting the item and being able to turn it around, and this is great because you can really reward a player for being like, oh, what if I turn it upside down, and maybe you'll see like a note or something on there. Looks like a paperweight. Sorry, I was focusing on the 3D rotation here. If that's a joke, that's a great joke. But if that was unintentional, like copying the same text, then be careful with that. But if it's like, oh, it's an old laptop, then that's hilarious. 5 forms of communication: nonverbal, written, verbal, visual, listening. You'd think he would know. You think he would know this without a note? Okay, so why does he have a note about this? I'm intrigued. Yeah, this is very interesting for sure. Oh, and also I guess potentially, okay, I can play music, I think.
Elon.
Oh, sorry, that was the okay, because I have the other one. I still okay. I'm gonna close Elon plug there. But yeah, it's interesting. If there's, can I hear the? No, I can't hear the voiceover because I have the audio off. Sorry about that. Let's see. Will I hear the voiceover again if I inspect stuff? Restart the game. Oh no, okay. uh, yeah, let's do that because that might be important. I mean,
All
it is important.
right, I'm in. The professor is at his communications lecture. He's so full of himself. He's
Oh,
probably going to be talking all night.
okay. So
I've got all the time in the world.
I'm not.
Now, I just have to find that safe.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm not the wife. I am a thief. I think. So I'm looking for a safe. Yeah, for sure. And not to try to be like, oh, I didn't make a mistake, but no, I should have had the volume on. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to include subtitles anyway. Oh, cool! I can turn the light on and off. Nice. But yeah, like there's something very strange about the lighting here, because there's light on the desk, but not on the floor, and everything else is in shadow apparently. So I feel like you probably have a directional light coming from somewhere up there. I can't see it. But yeah, okay, can I inspect this? Because, like, that briefcase stands out, and I feel like I should inspect it because it feels out of place. Alright, let's see what we can find here. Oh, okay, so there's different lights I can turn on and off here, but then, like, it still looks lit, though, in some areas. Like, it's kind of... If you don't want that light there, then you might want to... It might be because the light is coming through. If the walls are transparent on the outside, then the light might not come through. The song reminds me of the ending of Ocean's 11 for some reason. I do like this though. This is very good. There's a lot of the clues are very good. They convey the narrative well.
It's me, calling to remind you of the shopping list. It's not often we forget our notepad. Write it down ASAP. We gotta make your famous desserts. Don't forget the fondant. Grab a loaf of sourdough on the way out. The decanter, you know who will want to see it. Don't forget that new doohickey, the electronic book reader. Oh, and pick up some kind of game system for the kids.
If you multiply this number by any other number, the answer will always be the same. What number is this? And then we have N5. I guess 1, right? 1 or 0? No, 0. Okay, so 0, I guess. But yeah, I don't know where the safe is. But yeah, I hope I'm not sounding too critical. I like this quite a bit. The reason why I'm like, oh, the colors are all wrong and stuff is just because I'm like, well, that stuck out to me, and like everything else is good. Narratively, this is quite interesting. It definitely, like, especially if you have the voiceover on, like I blundered at the beginning. Then you would get hooked right away because you're like, oh, I'm like a thief or something. Interesting. So whatever this picture is probably also a clue, and alphabetical is probably also a clue. Like, I just want to know what this professor is up to. And, okay.
I really need to locate the safe. That professor thinks he's so smart, but I'll find it.
And now this is it's suspicious of, like, okay, so my instinct here is to think that, okay, the professor is very ready for thieves and he set this whole thing up for them to like to trap them. 2 is a company, 3 is a crowd. What are 4 and 5? I don't know. N2. So the N5 and N2. I remember you showing this in the Discord. 3. N5 and Nintendo? No, never mind. Interesting. A chess set with no squares. That sounds like a metaphor. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably, like, it. Phil, is there anything specifically that you would like me to find? Because I'm probably not gonna... Secrets nearby. Oh, okay, they're books. Because I'm probably not gonna be able to spend enough time that I would need to, like, really get into it. Because I'm trying to think about the game and also think about what to say on stream at the same time. Find the safe. You really want me to find the safe? Take away. I'm an odd number. Take away a letter, and I become even. What am I? You guys can figure out the answer to the riddle in the chat. That's totally not an excuse for me not wanting to to think while I, because it's weird. Like you'd be it's weird because like I noticed that like when I stream, it's like I have to think about like 3 different things at once. I have to think about like what to say, which is like I'm generally not the best at there we go at coming up with what to say on the fly, and also being interesting, and also playing the game and figuring out how to critique the game.
Different kinds of communication, written, verbal, and visual. I wonder if each code has to do with each type of communication.
Gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting. So once you find it, you really see how all the things that you've been beginning to find kind of come together. But presumably, like ignore the clues. Just look for the save. Oh, I guess I found a bunch of the clues already. Okay, so each of them has a 5-digit code. What if I just like turn the? Okay, I can't. But yeah, that's cool. And it kind of goes to show, it kind of reveals to you how everything fits together. So I'm probably not gonna, there's an answer key text file if you just want to see the ending. Sure, let's do it. I'm gonna do that just so that we can see it. Like this would be great. This would be a lot of fun to actually like play and go through and investigate. I love this kind of thing, man. I feel like this sort of investigation is what's really missing from RPGs, because of like quest markers and things like that. Like if you play Morrowind, like because Morrowind doesn't have quest markers, like a solid like 30% or more of the game, the gameplay is finding the location that you're supposed to go to for the quest. And I think and they give you directions and stuff, and so that investigation and putting your mind into it, engaging the player, and not just being like, oh, I'm on a roller coaster ride here, like a railroaded train track. I have to actually engage with it and actively think. That already like is great, and I think this is a good example of the genre. So I do have the so guys, close your eyes for spoilers here, because I'm gonna just punch in the wait, hold on. Oh, is it? Do I have to type them? What's going on? Why can't I? Strange. Oh, and hold on. I slid the text over the chat so I can't see. Click the keys. Yeah, that's what I'm doing though, and it's not working. I ran into an issue in my game where something from the UI was covering the keys, so I couldn't click on stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. I guess I can't do that. But there you go. There's a maybe a bug, or maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah. I don't even know how to get into full screen though, to be honest. Is there an option? Can I? Okay, there we go. Cool. Let's try it now. Nah, still nothing. Weird. But yes, like, sorry about that. Obviously you, like, I'm guessing you tested it, right? Like, this surely, like, wasn't an issue. So I wonder why. It could also be my, my monitor size. So, okay, we're gonna restart real quick, and I'll go right to the safe.
Alright, I'm in. The professor is at his communications lecture. He's so full of himself. He's probably going to be talking all night. It's the safe. Oh man, it's got 3 keypads.
Let's try it out.
3 codes. He's got an awful memory. ever
Sorry,
since
man.
the
Weird.
accident.
It's not
He's
working.
probably got a bunch of clues everywhere to help
Oh.
you remember. Wasn't the last lecture
What the
about
heck?
the different kinds of communication written?
I don't know where I clicked, but I clicked somewhere.
I wonder if each code has to do with each.
So something's misaligned with the UI. I don't know if you're doing a raycast, because it's not UI. It's a game object. So presumably there's something wrong with the raycast or something. But yeah, you might have a panel. If you have UI open, just check if you don't have like an invisible panel that might be blocking things or something, and try it. And this is a 4K monitor, so try it, and you can change the setting in Unity. I don't know offhand how to describe how to do that. But just see if in different sizes, if there's some sort of invisible panel that the collision box of the panel is covering that up. But yeah, like, great stuff, man. Great stuff. So we'll go on to the next game here. Okay, we're a good bit into the stream, and I haven't shilled my Patreon yet, so I want to ask you guys if you have been enjoying this. And by the way, thank you for the 11 likes so far. I really appreciate that, you guys. If you do enjoy my content, if you check out my Patreon, lots of game dev learning material that I do. Like I've put in a good bit of work in trying to provide value and trying to provide stuff that you guys can learn from. And I put like game dev exercises and just stuff to consider, and also the build for my text RPG game that uses ChatGPT for NPCs, and people have said that that is quite fun. So I appreciate it if you guys want to check that out. And yes, Matt, good point. I was thinking that, I forgot to say it. Very good stuff with the voice acting. So okay, we did Frankie's Picnic already. I guess that leaves one. The folder is 1.0.0, and it's called Bean Mountain. I have no idea what this is, what I'm getting myself into here. I'm playing this blind. Photosensitivity warning. Okay, can I? Oh, I was gonna read that. I probably should read that, actually. Hold on. Might be. I don't want to like. Okay. Okay. Well, so I guess you guys have been, consider this a warning if you guys are photosensitive. I guess I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be playing this. I mean, it doesn't look all that. Okay, interesting. Okay, I like this. Okay, hold on. Why am I... So I can rotate in the air. That makes me think that, like, I'm gonna change direction, but I'm not. So what happens if I, like, lay flat and then turn? So turning actually moves me, so I can do this. Interesting. And instead of doing... Okay, so, pro tip here. Oh, this is going to be interesting. There's a lot you can do with this mechanic. This is very interesting. A pro tip, if you guys ever want to do, like, a variable height jump, don't do, like, the bar, because it's annoying. Because the reason why you don't do the bar is because then I, as a player, feel like a negative action triggers a reaction in the game. What does that mean? That means I'm not pushing a key, I'm unpushing, I'm releasing the key. For good game feel, you want it to be like action, player pushes a button, player takes an action, immediate reaction occurs. And so if you look at games like Hollow Knight, for example, and I think Celeste probably does this too, then if you jump and you just click the jump, if you just have the jump button quickly, you jump only a little bit, and then if you hold it down, not for like a crazy long amount of time, you have to tweak it, you have to test it a lot to get that working. It's still it still feels like you're doing a conscious decision rather than, or that's not the right word for it. It still feels like you're actively engaged to cause an immediate action. There's that little bit of delay. but it doesn't feel like, okay, I have to, like, I push the button, a new thing occurs, and then to make something happen, I have to, like, release the button. I don't know what to call it, but for some reason, like, there is that psychological thing. This is why magic in Skyrim kind of sucks. There's a lot of reasons why Skyrim magic sucks. That was interesting. But one reason is because a lot of the spells are like you charge them up and then you release them to actually like throw the spell. I think it's like if you're casting like a fireball or something. So this is interesting because if I, okay, so I can roll and then launch myself. So what's the kind of optimal, maybe if I jump from up here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the optimal place to hurl myself from would be. It looks like it's right around here. But yeah, this is a cool idea. It's gonna probably take me way too long to master this mechanic than to than to have anything else interesting to say about the game. But it's a solid idea here. You can extrapolate a lot out of this. When I did hosted the Yurikame Game Jam, I tried to make a point of like make a game that you can utilize the core mechanic in the level design. And the crane game, if you guys remember from that video, the crane game where you had to drop blocks onto people, and it had 3 levels, and every level got a little bit harder, but you just kept that one core mechanic of just going back and forth with the crane and having to time it right to drop the blocks. The level design and the way that the characters were running across the screen and the obstructions in the way and the amount of throws that you had really took a like it reaped the fruits of the very simple mechanic. So a lot of the time, if you think, okay, I need to make a complicated game with like combat and movement and crazy jumping and parkour and abilities, maybe you don't. Maybe you can just do like a portal gun, for example, and have the level design really support that one core mechanic. Like suck the mechanic dry before you make a new mechanic, I guess. That's just like a good design principle, right? Like don't design more if you haven't made the most out of the design that you have already. So this is great. It has potential, and of course there's something to be said about like the color scheme, but I'm not sure. I mean, like it's kind of what it is, I guess. So we're gonna save and quit, and switching back to this. There we go. All right. We're gonna do, I think, one more game, which is called The Lost Sun. And now I saw the guy who made this game has a YouTube channel, and I think he might be a subscriber. I don't know if you're in the chat right now. But yeah, I've seen this guy's videos. Every single thing is opening on this screen instead of this screen, like without fail. The following is a playtest demo and a work in progress. Very good, very good. Everything is subject to change. Okay, we're gonna turn that down a little bit. Sorry guys, I bumped the microphone. Sorry if that was loud. Cool. Okay, it's nice that you guys are including options even in these games, because people do really appreciate that, especially when you get to the point where you're ready to start putting your game on Steam. Steam players, you don't necessarily realize how important certain things are to Steam players. So like being able to remap all of your controls, people really like that. And when it's not there, it doesn't mean, okay, now your game's gonna get good reviews. It just means you've eliminated the opportunity for at least one bad review, for one pattern of bad reviews that you might have gotten, like, oh, this game doesn't have, I can't rebind my controls, it runs at 59 frames per second instead of 60, and things like that. Like seriously, it's quite something what people can, and it's not to bash Steam players because Steam has a certain threshold of quality that you gotta learn to meet as you get there, right? Again, this is why even your first Steam game should be a fairly small and simple game. Would you like a tutorial? I mean, I guess so. Okay, why is it loading so much? That's a long loading screen for a simple game like this. There's no follow AI. Why are you saying so? Yeah, don't be like unconfident in your tutorial. It's whole. Okay, what? Okay, so do I, okay? Can I remap my controls in this? So why in the world are your arrow keys to move and then Z to jump, or Z or whatever you guys call the letter? But hey, he's doing the exact tip that I said, right? So you tap Z, because I'm Canadian, so we'll say Z and not worry about it. And then if you hold it, you jump higher. So that's exactly what I was talking about. You can also stomp with X. No, I can't. Oh, okay, I have to jump and then stomp. You know what that is? No, I don't actually. I mean, I do now. I do now, but and actually that's an interesting point. I probably do know what that is because you use like the visual language of video games to be like, hey, there's a chasm. Hey, there's a wide thing with what looks like a spring, and I've played a game before, so I do know what that is. Press Z on a wall and switch directions to wall jump. Cool. Sometimes people don't realize this when they make wall jumping, but you can usually just jump on the one wall. You don't need to jump on both. And I don't know how to. I've never done a mechanic like that, so I don't know how to discourage players from doing that if you want to discourage that, but that's just a matter of like tweaking. Players can only collide with like colors. Interesting. I would love to know how you did this. Are you just disabling the collider if you're if you switch colors, or is there a way to actually do that with like layer masks and stuff? I've never tried it. I figure you probably can. Except when pressing buttons. What does that mean? I don't really like the tutorial text. It's very kind of like I don't really know how to put it. Like it's kind of almost like it's not passive aggressive, but it's like so yeah, you know what, like if that's the tone of your game, like maybe there's this lost son is like a apathetic character who doesn't care or something, then this is a matrix. Oh, okay, this is a matrix. The square can only go in this one. Upon entry, an action will be performed. What does that mean? This is clearly blocking the way out. The circle can only go in this one. Wait, can I? Oh, okay, cool. I can change. Upon entry, an action will be performed when both matrices are entered, an action revealing the way out triggers. I see. So I can tab. Yeah. So you definitely have to implement that following AI, and it's not. I mean, like, I don't think you have to do as much because like in this case all it means is that your second character does the same, like you're effectively controlling both characters. You just like maybe disable the jump and you like maintain a distance. Like you might have something like you press your left and right arrow keys. Okay, if the distance between the characters is too small, if they're too close together, don't move the second character, otherwise move both characters, and then just don't have them jump or something. It's not perfect. I mean, there's tweaking to do, but it's not the hardest system in the world to implement, but I can see Like for 2D games, it's a bit different than for 3D games where you're, like, I don't know if you necessarily need to do like A-star pathfinding for something like this. Maybe you do. I've never been able to successfully implement a an AI system for a 2D platformer with like gravity and stuff. I have for like top-down games. But yeah, I spent the whole time playing the tutorial. I haven't played the actual game. But I think this is instructive. There's a lot to say just about the tutorial. Oh, okay, interesting. That wasn't clear. Like you have to make the entrance obvious. Maybe you do in the real levels. Okay, so immediately I know I have to change to purple. But yeah, as a platformer, this is pretty classic, like pretty standard stuff. Which isn't by any means a bad thing. That's actually kind of what people are looking for in a platformer. They are looking for like a very good platformer, and I think this probably it's not the most original thing in the world. That's totally fine. You know, it's just a very good example of you know, a simple platformer like this. So I think you're on the right track with this one. I don't know if it's gonna be, well, I mean, like, I can tell you for sure that unfortunately it won't be all that popular, because I think the most popular platformers need like really, really striking visuals, and this is true for any game. And it's not to say that these visuals are bad by any means. They are simplistic, but that's totally fine. I guess it's just a matter of knowing who your target audience is, how wide of an audience you want to target. Are you going for Steam? Are you just, you know, doing this for fun and for learning? And anything I say, any like criticism I have, it's like, if it's your first game, or if you're just learning, then like, you know, you made a game, like that's great. Most people don't actually make a game. They just experiment and mess around and never make anything. But very cool. And that's sorry, that sounded so harsh. That's not a dig against people who just do game development as like a hobby. Like, that's your goal. Your goal is just to mess around in the engine, have fun. No problem. That's great too. So yeah, this is a good game. I don't really have anything negative to say about it besides that stuff I mentioned in the tutorial. Like, there's no reason to be I guess like awkward and shy about the gameplay and stuff. Just, you know, simple, clear text. You don't need to be like, I guess, and like, well, clearly this, and things like that. So yeah, good stuff. So far so good. And I think there was one more Q&A question that I missed. Stitchy, if you want to discourage jumping on one wall, you should adjust it so that you don't really go up when jumping on one wall, because you should, because even if you use two walls, then you still have to gain height somehow, right? So maybe it's just a matter of you gain a little bit of height, but that's a very good point. Thanks for pointing that out. And to play your game, you have to tell me what your game is, and then I'll play it in the next time I do this. I did not play 2-bit, unfortunately. Kinnick, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. But again, I'll see if I'll look out for it in my emails, and maybe I'll get a chance to play your game in the next one. So okay, one more question here. This one's from Chris and Jasper, and their question is quite interesting. What is the minimum playtime for a demo that we should aim for? So this is like a Steam question, right? On Steam, it's very important to have a playable demo, and a good average playtime. You know that people like your game if your average playtime is like 15 to 20 minutes. I think that's the figure I remember hearing from Chris Zukowski. So, given that's the average, then that means that you probably want to have like 30 minutes to an hour. Um, Thomas Brush says like 15-minute demo. Actually, I think Chris's 15-minute demo as well. It doesn't need to be long. I'd say an hour is probably overkill. Um, but yeah, so for most people, um, like I said earlier, like most people aren't making games for Steam, but I really want to encourage you guys to get into the mindset of aiming for Steam, because on Steam is where your games are. You're gonna make better games. Like whether you want to make a career out of game development or not, it's always, it's a good way to. I mean, making like a side hustle income is always a good bonus. But if you just want to make good games, aiming for Steam means that you're gonna be bound to make a higher quality game. So in a certain sense, you're holding yourself to a higher standard. Like you're like, and that sounds like I guess like arrogant or whatever. But I just mean like you're forcing yourself to get into the mindset of like, I have to make this better. I have to make it polished. Um, so yeah, wouldn't it make more sense to play the games of people that are watching right now just asking? Unfortunately not, because I have to download them, right? So it's unfortunately not that simple. I would love to be able to just like play them on the fly, but I had to pre-download and pre-select a few of the games. So I wish I could do that, because that would be great. That would definitely be perfect. But then you guys will have to sit here waiting for me to download it. Yeah, I mean, like if you have a browser build, then I'll play it. But if you have it download, then I'm just gonna not do that right now, unfortunately. But if you tell me you might have told me the game. I think it's. I'm not sure if you told me the game, but I'll find it and I'll put it the next time I do this stream. I'll do all the ones that you guys that were in this chat were asking for. Techna, you sent a web game. Okay. What was the name of it? If you tell me the name of it, I can probably find it right now. The stream is really behind. Wait, do you guys hear me? So someone in the chat tell me, like, I'm gonna, like, I don't know, like, are you guys hearing me up to date, or are you guys, because I'm looking at the stream right now and it looks, unless it's just delayed for me, I'm looking at myself playing the tutorial, which was like ages ago. Um, which is very weird, because I feel like you guys are replying to what I'm saying now, but so I don't know what happened with the mistiming, but anyways, okay, air dog, I think I can. I said, hey Matt, I said like every few minutes, so that doesn't that doesn't reveal anything, but okay, cool. There I go again. So I'll do one last one here. If I can find it in the email. I don't know if you sent it to me. I can't find it in my emails. Anyways, I don't know, guys. I guess if you um if you want me to review your game, make sure you send it to me at anjay@udkamegames.com. You should have my email. If you're watching this, you most likely have it. And if not, I'll just put it in the chat. And what was I gonna say? And okay, yeah. So I guess for the end, because we're gonna just wrap up here. Now I feel like I need to learn how to stop saying and like. I feel like most people eventually get to the point where they are able to just speak off the cuff and not deal with that. This is why I feel like I always need to have a script. I'll figure it out eventually. Anyways, any final questions for Q&A? In the meantime, I'm going to show my Patreon one more time. I think it's in the description. If you guys find my content in any way useful or helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you support me on Patreon. It helps the channel a lot, and you will get my latest builds for my games. Currently, that is just the ChatGPT RPG game. I will also be announcing a new project very soon, I hope. Very excited about that. And also game dev learning resources with good and useful exercises. My favorite color, I guess blue. Vaguely blue. I mean, you can, yeah, there's a pattern. Robert, yes, you are still able to submit, but I won't play your game now. I'll play your game in the next stream that I do this. Oh, okay. So, okay. Okay. I got you. I'll I'll play your game in the next one, but I'll answer your question. Unless you don't want me to answer it like out loud on stream. I'm just finding it in my email right now. Because it's a good question. So the thing with assets is it's completely fine to use assets. David Whaley makes this point. He has if you guys are familiar with like the full-time game dev course by Thomas Brush, David Whaley made a course. I think David Whaley was like the guy to kind of start the trend of making courses, and they're both very good courses. Anyways, David said that you can totally do asset flipping, and that's what he did for his game, The First Tree. And it's quite advantageous, but the thing is, you have to, like, I made this point for a bunch of games that I looked at, you have to have a consistent, cohesive art style for everything. You have to have consistent textures, consistent visuals and whatever you're doing. If it's pixel art, all the pixels have to be the same size, right? You can't have, like, lower and higher resolution. And Thomas Brush made that point in his stream. It was a video where he reviewed, like, 3 games, and he was really like pushing that point too. It's very important. And so if you're using assets, you just have to make sure that you adapt them to fit the visual aesthetic of your game. So for Air Obscure, I made a bunch of the assets. I made like the walls and floors and stuff, and then I used the Cinti pack, but I added the same shader, the same toon shader onto both the props and like the walls and everything. So everything looked cohesive. Everything kind of looked like it belonged. It wasn't perfect, but that's kind of the idea, right? Like, and then the advantage there is, and like David Whaley says this too, right? Like you make the art style that you can like modify. That, how do I put this? You make the art style that you will have the skill to adapt to those assets. So for example, you download like a hyper realistic rock with like a normal map and stuff, and you download a low poly table. So maybe you just make like what I did, like a flat color cell shading thing where it's just like toon shaded, and both the rock and the table are toon shaded, and you don't tell the difference between the quality, like the level of detail between the two, and they look like they both fit in the same game. Or maybe you throw a normal map onto everything. Maybe you like add that like sort of stylized layer of realism, like, you know, explore different art styles and whatever. This isn't an art lesson, I guess, because I'm not like the best at art, but bottom line is absolutely use assets. If you're going to use them, make them consistent with the visuals. In terms of things like programming assets, there's nothing inauthentic about that, because like programmers like use like other people's code all the time, because I don't know if you, well, I wonder now if you can like patent code snippets and stuff. You probably can, but I don't know. That's a conversation for another time. I have no idea. But like if it's a free asset for like, okay, enemy AI system, totally fine to just, you know, download it and use it, especially if it's like within the Unity free assets, Unity Asset Store, or anything with like a Creative Commons license, you can use it no problem. Just everything that you use, you have to, like, you're the game designer, you're the lead designer, right? Like, you're not the programmer anymore in that situation. You're the decision maker, you're the manager. So treat it like I'm using other people's work because they're essentially like working for me because they're hired because you're using their product, right? Um, so as the designer, how do I take this and make the reasonable design decision to integrate it into my game and make it all fit together? You're not just pulling in assets for the sake of it, you're pulling in the right assets for the right job for your vision. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. That was probably a more long-winded answer than you intended. For uh, a simple yes or no sometimes would suffice, but I can be kind of long-winded sometimes. I hope you guys don't mind. But anyways, yeah, that's about it for the stream for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sending in your games. And like I said, send in your games if you haven't already, because I want to do my best to get to the games at least that you guys were asking about in this chat. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and if those of you who are able to support me on Patreon, it would be hugely, immensely appreciated. The links to everything is in the description. Free Indie Game Dev Starter Guide is also in the description. Hopefully we'll have some good new videos coming up in the next few weeks. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless.